If you're watching this video in recording, or maybe not in recording, there is a link in the description. Let me click on that link. This link will bring you to the course page. So this is the course we are going to talk about today. This course is called AI Dev Tools Zoomcamp, and the idea behind this course is to make you a more productive developer, more effective developer by using AI assistants, new AI tools that you probably everyone have heard about, tools like Cursor, tools like GitHub Copilot, Codex, Claude Code, all these things. So this is what we are going to learn about in this course. And this course, unlike other courses we have, it's not data specific, it's more focusing, the focus of this course is more on development. So like even if you never work with anything data, and maybe you're not even interested a lot in data science and machine learning, this course can still be interesting for you because here we show how you as a developer can be more productive. If you work as a data scientist, of course, you need to develop code, you need to write code, so this course is going to be useful for you too. So let me first give you a very quick overview of this course, and also you can sign up for this course using this link if you have not signed up yet. And in this course, what we are going to do, the first module is already prepared. So in the first module, we will just make an overview of all, not all, but many AI tools that are out there. So we will start with chat applications like ChatGPT, then we'll go to coding assistants, then we will talk about AI agents like the bootstrappers, like Lovable. Lovable is a platform, or Bolt is a platform where with just one prompt, you can create an entire website. And then we'll talk about specific agents, and this will be the module number 1. So it will be an introduction. This is actually based on the workshop I already gave. So here there is a workshop video. But I think maybe it's an old one. I need to push an update. But there is a workshop video you can watch. Yeah, so where I implement the game, like the snake game. So this is what we are going to cover in the first module. In the second module, we are going to focus on creating a project end-to-end, not just front-end, but also back-end, front-end in JavaScript, back-end in Python. We're going to use tools like Cursor for that. And we will have a database, we will have backend, we will have front-end, we'll have I don't know, login for users, all these things. So we're going to implement an end-to-end project with AI assistants. Then in module 3, we will talk about agents and model context protocol. And then in module 4, we're going to build our own agent. So something like Lovable. In Lovable, you can write a prompt. This is one of the Lovable. So you can say here, hey, I want to create a to-do list, and then it will create you a to-do list. I think I have, do I not have it? Yeah, I have to log in. But I guess here you can see things that other people are creating, right? So somebody's creating local vegan products. So we will do something like this, but instead of creating a website in Django, we will actually create a website. So instead of creating a website in JavaScript, we will create a website in Django. And then finally, we will have 2 last modules that are about using AI for DevOps and using automation tools like N8N. So that's the plan. So we already have some materials. So this module is ready. This module, we had a workshop today, but we will polish this a little bit. This module is ready. For this, we'll have workshop. So we just need to prepare this module and this module. Right, so that's the plan. The course starts in November 18, which is pretty soon, right? So where's my calendar? Pretty soon. So in 2 weeks. So that's the plan. And the purpose of this video is actually, you have questions. I see a lot of questions here in live chat. So the purpose of this stream now is for me to answer all the questions you have. You can also give suggestions. Like maybe you can say, hey, I want to this tool, how about this tool? Do you plan to cover that tool, or how are you going to use this and that? Like all these things are welcome. So for that, yeah, so we use Slido. So go to Slido, put this hashtag AI Dev, or just use your phone and use this QR code. And yeah, ask your questions. And I see we already have quite a few questions. I think what we can do is we can just start answering these questions. Hi, Alexey. Hi, Aniket. I'm just starting with data engineering, intermediate in Python and SQL. Should I join the AI Dev Tools Bootcamp, this cohort, or next? So I don't know what you mean by the next cohort. Right now, we only have this one, and what we typically do with our courses is we run one course per year. So the next cohort for this course, if this is successful, if we see that people are interested, if we find sponsors. So the first one is, for now, we don't have any sponsors. If we find sponsors, then we are going to continue running this course. If we see that people are not interested, if sponsors are not interested, we will not run this course. But all the materials will stay there. So yeah, you can join now. You can watch all the materials later. It's up to you. I don't know if I answered your question, but you should definitely join. But if you don't have time to join now, then all the materials will stay there in this repo, and you can watch anytime. But of course, if you join later, not as a part of the cohort, you will be missing out on all the cohort activities. Like we'll have homeworks, we'll have projects, and everyone will work at the same time. So if you don't join as a part of the cohort, then yeah, you will have to, how to say, well, maybe it's less fun. So I know people like doing it as part of the cohorts like we do with other courses. Does the course require any paid LLM subscription? Yes and no. So let me think. So for the first module, you will not need any paid subscription. Everything I showed does not require any money. Of course, for some things it's better. Like for example, when I show Claude Code, you will need to, like, in order to reproduce this example, you will need to put like, I don't know, $5 to your account. You don't have to. You can just skip this part. Then for the second module, where we implement an end-to-end project, you will most likely need to get a subscription for something like Cursor, GitHub Copilot, or ChatGPT. If you get a subscription to ChatGPT, you get access to ChatGPT Codex or OpenAI Codex, which is an AI assistant. So there, if you use a free tier, free plan, it will not be enough to implement the second project because they have very strict limits. You will run out of, you will exceed these limits pretty fast, right? So I don't think it will be enough to actually implement this project. So consider maybe just paying. Cursor costs like $20. My favorite tool right now is GitHub Copilot. Copilot price. I think it's probably, oh, it says $10 per month. Okay, let's see. Let's see if it's $10 per month. You get a Pro. Like it's 2 times cheaper than Cursor. So, and right now it's my most favorite tool because of the GitHub integration. So you can not just use GitHub Copilot in your VS Code, but you can do many other things. The free one, 50 agent requests per month. Claude Sonnet 3.5. Yeah, I don't think you'll get far with that. So these are not the best models, and 50, maybe this should be enough, but yeah, it's not great. Yeah, but with this, just for a month, maybe try it per month and see how it goes, right? Because I think $10 is, you can afford $10, right? And this is totally worth it, right? So for Cursor, it's 20. Yeah, it's 20 per month. And then for Codex pricing, I think it's also 20 per month. Well, it's a part of ChatGPT subscription, so ChatGPT costs, I think, 23 euros or something like that. Right, so that's I would recommend to get this at least for a month to see how you like it, and then I think you will understand that this is totally worth it. So like this $10 you spent on Copilot makes you so much more productive that yeah, you will be very glad to spend this $10. Okay, so I think I answered the question. When it comes to the other modules, I think the rest should be more or less. Let me see. So this one I talked about, this model context protocol should be free. You can do everything for free. Like even with a free plan for Copilot should be enough. So this one will require putting some money to your OpenAI or Cloud or Anthropic account. Like, I don't know, $5 should be enough to actually do everything here. Alternatively, you can use Grok, which is free, but I have not tested it with Grok. Then module 5, we don't have the materials for this module yet. I cannot say for sure. And then for that one, yeah, I think you'll still need to have subscription to OpenAI or something. Like you will need an OpenAI key to make it work, or Anthropic key. I think for some of these things, actually, like for module 2, or sorry, for module 4 and module 6, you can use Gemini. Gemini, as far as I heard, I have not tested it, as far as I heard, it has better limits, so you can do more per day. So perhaps for implementing your own coding agent and for using it in an attempt, getting a Gemini key and not paying should be enough. I don't know, but I have not tested it, so you'll have to try and see if it, yeah, if it works. Okay, so I think I answered your question. If I miss a cohort, for example, ML or D, can I still take it on my own? If so, what is the difference between taking it during the cohort? So I guess ML or DE, you're probably referring to other courses. So I don't necessarily understand. I don't really understand this part. Can I still take it on my own? So all our courses that we have, all the Zoom camps that we have, you can take them either as a part of a cohort, or you can take them at your own pace. Like all the materials are available after we run the cohort. We run these cohorts once per year. All the materials stay there, so you can take the course at any time. So this is true for this course and for all the other Zoom camps that we have. Right? The main difference between taking the course during the cohort and outside of the cohort is, first of all, there are homeworks. So we'll use a course management platform. So for example, right now, the machine learning course is active. So then we have homeworks. There are deadlines. You submit these homeworks. You interact with other course participants. There are projects, and then you submit the projects. You evaluate the projects with others, and you get the certificate at the end when you finish a cohort. You cannot really do any of that outside of the cohort. Of course, you can do a homework. Now you can do homeworks outside of the cohort, but then you will not be able to submit them to the course management system. So you will have to do them yourself and then check if the answers you get are correct. Then the same for the project. So you can do a project, but there will be no other course participants to peer review each other. And then at the end, you will not get a certificate if you do this outside of a cohort. So in order to get a certificate, you need to do it as a part of a cohort, and you need to complete a project. So if you complete a project, even if you don't submit homeworks, if you complete a project for the course, you get a certificate at the end. So this is how it usually works for our Zoom camps, and this Zoom camp, AI Dev Tools Zoomcamp, is not an exception. Yeah, is it enough to have at least Gemini Pro to complete the project? Well, I'll be completely honest with you. I never use Gemini Pro or Gemini at all. So I use OpenAI and I use Anthropic. So Anthropic and OpenAI is enough. I assume Gemini Pro is the same. It should be enough to complete the project because at the end, from what I know, all these major LLM providers, they are doing more or less the same, right? From what I also, I mean, this is my subjective experience. Anthropic models tend to do a little better when it comes to coding. That's why, like for example, here, like I like using, so when I use Copilot, I like using Claude Sonnet 4.5, right? But also we have Codex, and Codex uses, let's see, so it uses GPT-5. So then, yeah, from the code that Codex create is actually quite good too. So, but then I don't really have experience with Gemini Pro. And for many of these things, like for example here, well, it's one of the options too. So I guess you can use it too, but yeah, I have no experience with it. Good evening, Alexey. Hi, I'm your student from the ongoing ML Zoomcamp course. Will this course be easy to take it up as I'm new to AI world? So easy or not, I cannot say. So everyone is different. So from what I saw from interacting with you so far in the MLOps, in the ML course, so you are quite active from what I see. You are enthusiastic. You're interested in learning. So I think for you it will be really beneficial. And here learning is, how to say, it's quite fun because you can use what you learn immediately to do, let's say you're taking the ML Zoomcamp course, right? And right now we're working on projects, and then I see nothing wrong with completing these projects using AI assistants, right? So then you can see, so right now we haven't started this course, but let's say the course starts in November, and in December we'll have capstone projects for ML course. So then while you are learning this, taking this the AI Dev Tools course, you can try to complete your project using, I don't know, GitHub Copilot, and then see how it goes, right? So I think it will not only it will be easier, but I think it will make what you do, how to say, even more effective. That's the goal of this course, right? So at the beginning, you will need to invest a little time in learning this tool. But then eventually it will pay back a lot. So you will be like, I don't know, sometimes I feel like I'm 10 times more productive. But also I need to say that now most of the time I don't write code, I read code. I read code that the agent wrote. And I think this also answers the next question, if you need to have any coding knowledge. So in my opinion, yes, you need to have coding knowledge. So now I spend a lot of time reading code. Before I was writing code, now I spend time reading code. It means I need to understand this code, right? Ideally. I primarily use Python. That's why for me reading JavaScript is a little bit, it takes more effort, more mental effort to read JavaScript code or some language that I don't use regularly, right? So, but then it still helps to at least have some vague understanding of what's happening. If you don't understand coding at all, it might be difficult. The reason it might be difficult is, yes, LLMs will create some code. The code will work, but then at some point it will maybe stop working, and you will have no idea why, right? Then also having some following some best engineering practices, like using source control, using Git, committing your Git code periodically, creating tests, all that. If you have been exposed to these things before, this course will feel a lot easier. So you will, okay, this is how I usually do tests. This is how I write tests with the AI assistants, right? And then for you, if you already have experience with coding, this will go much faster. If you don't, you will need to spend time understanding what is happening, right? But sometimes, sometimes you just wipe code things. And vibe coding means, the agent is creating whatever. You just see that it's working and you feel satisfied with the results. That is also a good approach, but it works up to a certain point, right? At some point, the code will start breaking, and then you will need to understand what's happening. And then this is when you need to have coding knowledge. And also, as agents produce more and more code, the amount of code grows, right? So you still need to understand what is happening in your code base, because it's you who will be maintaining it, right? So it's you who will need to make changes at some point, right? So coding knowledge will help. So while I think you don't necessarily need to be able to be a proficient coder to start with this course. Learning how to code in parallel to this course will help, right? Not only it will help, but I think it's a requirement. Like you have to want to learn to code, right? So if you want to learn coding, it's fine, because as I said, you will need to understand the code. So for you, maybe you'll spend more time asking Copilot to explain the code. This is fine, right? So as long as you eventually understand what is happening in your code base, it's good. Right? But you should still understand what is happening in your code base. Is this training more of MLOps, ML engineering, or AI engineering, or software engineering development? So this is for everyone who needs to write code. We will have modules that focus on front end, which means JavaScript, which has nothing to do with MLOps, ML engineering, or AI engineering. We'll also have modules that focus more on backend. Again, they don't really have anything to do with any of these things. So I would say it's more like software engineering, but because we use AI tools, well, I think it's still software engineering. It's just MLOps, ML engineers, AI engineers are all engineers. We all need to write code, right? So this course is about being more productive, being more effective with help of AI assistants. So we will see how we can use AI assistants to write code faster, to ship features faster. Like let's say if I work as an ML engineer, I want to train a simple scikit-learn model, right? So then I can just ask my Copilot here. Well, I can say, write some code for training logistic regression model for this data set. So it will get the data set, it will analyze the data set, it will train the model, and it will save the model, let's say, right? So then for me, it makes it easier because I will just review the code and I say, okay, here I don't really like what he wrote. Can you please rewrite? So then instead of spending 2 hours on that, I would spend 5 minutes, right? So that's the idea. And it doesn't really matter if you are MLOps engineer, ML engineer, AI engineer, software engineer. We all write code. And if you write code, this course is for you. What are the prerequisites for this course? Some basic programming knowledge. So like you don't have to know Python or JavaScript. If you do, it helps. Or if you've been exposed to these languages, it helps. Like I cannot really claim I know JavaScript, but when I read it, I'm not scared. Like I can read and But writing JavaScript for me is a little difficult. Same with Python. Like for me, okay, I'm proficient with Python, but for you, maybe you're not. But if you can understand what is happening in the code, you're fine. Other prerequisites, I think, so we will sometimes use command line tools, like terminal in general, to install things, to run things. So being able to use the terminal is good, right? So that's another prerequisite. So basically, having some basics of engineering, that's enough. Do we actually cover this somewhere in prerequisites? I don't think we do. Maybe I should write, but yeah. So the idea is that you are already an engineer and you want to be more productive, right? So that's the main idea. So the prerequisite is being an engineer or wanting to become an engineer. I will prepaid subscription type LLM like Gemini work, or I need to do an API price subscription Google AI. I don't know what you mean by prepaid subscription type like Gemini. So for these tools that I showed, like Copilot or Codex, you will need to have a subscription. But then if you want to use Claude Code, then what you can do is you can just deposit some money on your Anthropic account, and then you can use that API key for your Claude Code. It's possible. Then there are tools like Rue Code, I think, and Klein. We saw this Klein, right? So Rue Code or Klein. So there, what you can do is just get an API key from Anthropic, put it there, and use it as a assistant. So many options are possible. So one, I guess, prepaid is like when you put $5 to your Anthropic and you use until you run out of this money. Or another option is you subscribe to Anthropic, to Claude. You get a Claude Pro for $20 or something, and then you use Claude Code. So that's another alternative. What are the communication platforms used? I know Telegram is used, video on YouTube, anything else? Slack, we use Slack for asking questions. So please join Slack. We also send emails. We usually send emails. So right now, everyone who signed, and if you're still subscribed to our newsletter, if you have not unsubscribed from our newsletter, you should receive an email. The email will include the link to Slack. So yes, that. So in Slack, you just interact with each other. It's not for communicating from me to you. It's more like for you to communicate with each other, and there I will answer your questions. Yeah, I guess that's the main ones, Telegram, YouTube. And then all the links will be here. I'm really curious why, because I remember I actually made an update for this one. But yeah, I will need to push it, I guess. Maybe I forgot to push it. Will you teach how to debug the code created by AI? So I guess yes and no. So I don't think we'll have a module on that, but it comes with practice. So you will, in your projects, you will ask AI to implement the code. There is no guarantee that this code will work. In order to make it work, you'll have to learn how to debug it. Yeah, so there is no other way. And because there are principles that we will cover. Principles is like, okay, having tests or committing your code to Git or I don't know, things like that. So that we will do. And then you can also, what we will see is, well, I don't know if we will actually see this, but we will probably do, because when I record the video explaining something or doing something, if something goes wrong, I will have to debug it. So I'll show it to you. Right, so I don't think everything will be super smooth that I will not need to debug anything. So, and sometimes you can ask AI to debug it. You can say, hey, like this piece of code doesn't seem to work. And what these AI tools typically do is they create like a separate file. I don't know if I have an example here, but usually, yeah, I guess that's the code from a course, from AI course. But sometimes, yeah, so they create like a piece of code that is trying to debug the problem you have, right? See, there is a question, how do you join Slack? So in Slack, you go to description, and then here you have join the community link. And here you put your email address and you join. Okay. Which Copilot mode do you mostly use for coding? Agent, edit, or ask mode? So for coding, I use agent. So when I want to create something, edit is when I want to edit just a single file, and ask I never used, so I don't know. And then I also, for Copilot, I quite often use autocompletes. Sometimes they are good, sometimes they are annoying, but I use them anyways. Will we cover long chain, long graph, vector databases, RAG in this cohort? No, this is not about AI engineering. If you're interested in that, we have two courses, or actually as a part of Data Talks Club, we have this LLM Zoomcamp course where we cover this thing. I personally, outside of Data Talks Club, teach this course called AI Bootcamp from RAG to Agent, where I go more in depth into agentic stuff. So this is where we cover these things. So if you're interested, so this is a paid course. The LLM Zoomcamp is a free course. LLM Zoomcamp is a part of free courses that we have at Data Talks Club. So at Data Talks Club, all the courses we have are free. Outside of Data Talks Club, I teach this course. So if you're interested in this kind of stuff, yeah, check other courses. Although we don't cover LangChain, LangGraph, but we cover similar frameworks there. So again, so what you're talking is AI engineering, and we focus on using AI dev tools to make us more productive developers. When you mention another tools, recently OpenCode released V1 of its 2E tool. Will there be any chance to also see that? OpenCode 2E tool. What is that? I don't really see any show more results. I don't know what is that. Sorry. This one, right? OpenCode terminal user interface. Well, I have no idea what is that, to be honest. AI coding agent built for the terminal. Okay. I mean, you can use it. It's the same as Cloud Code, I assume. So then all these tools, they are pretty similar. So as I said, you can use GitHub Copilot, you can use Cursor, you can use Codex, you can use Cloud Code, you can use this TUI. At the end, it's more or less the same, right? So they use more or less, they use the same models. So here I can see it's Anthropic Cloud Sonnet. So then at the end, if you prefer to do this in terminal, go for Cloud Code or TUI. If you prefer to do it as a part of your development environment, go for other tools that have plugins, right? Or let's say if you want to use PyCharm, if you are more like an IntelliJ person or JetBrains person, they also have an assistant. So I think it's called JetBrains AI assistant. I tested it; it works more or less the same, right? So at the end, I don't plan to cover this tool, but what I want to say is you can use this tool if you like it. Because the principles, they are the same, right? And all these tools, they work more or less the same. So I don't think there will be any significant difference between this tool and, well, let's say if I record the videos using Copilot, you can reproduce everything that I did in Copilot, but in this tool. Do we need to install some software tool like Android Studio? No, unless you plan to create your project for Android, you don't need to do this. So all we will need to do, all we will need to have is VS Code or alternative. So if you don't like VS Code, you can use something else, or let's say Cursor, which is basically VS Code, but yeah, it's standalone. And then we will need Python and we will need JavaScript. So for JavaScript, it's a Node version manager. So you will need to install NVM. So I am on Windows, and for me, this is the most convenient way of installing Node.js on my computer. Then for Python, we will use UV. Also on Windows, you can just get Python from UV. Alternatively, you can use something like Conda for getting Python. Okay, so this is what you will need. And NVM for Node version management, UV for Python management, VS Code for writing code. Big thank you for all the free courses. You're very welcome. My question is, do we also learn the ways to optimize our usage of LLMs? I don't know what you mean by optimizing the usage of LLMs. You need to be more specific, but this is not a part of the curriculum. So there is no module that is called optimizing the usage of LLMs. Here we learn to use dev tools for developers. So we don't necessarily, well, apart from one module where we implement things, we don't necessarily use LLMs ourselves. So we use tools that use LLMs to make us more productive, right? So in one of the modules, which is this one, build your own coding agent. So here the idea behind this course is to just let you know how these tools work under the hood, right? So we will implement like an end-to-end project using something like Copilot, but then maybe you're interested to know how these tools work, how they are implemented. So here, the goal of this module is to give you a little bit of understanding how they work. Of course, we will not be able to build Cursor from scratch or Lovable from scratch, but at least you will understand a bit more or less what they do, how they work, right? And how agents work. So that's the idea behind this, but we will not go in depth. For that, we have other courses like LLM Zoomcamp, where we cover this in more details. And again, like, I don't really know what you mean by that, so you need to be a bit more specific, but I suspect this would be more like LLM Zoomcamp kind of topic rather than this one. How do you not forget your dev skills when using AI? I find that I'm thinking less when vibe coding. So the thing with me is before ChatGPT appeared, I was already a manager. So I already kind of forgot my dev skills, or not completely forgot, but I was quite rusty. So I was less productive than before. I couldn't I don't know, create programs in the same as fast as I was doing before. So yeah, so for me, actually, when AI tools appeared, for me, I started being more productive because I became slow at writing code, but now I can write it fast, or not me, but like the programs can write fast. So what I do now is I just make sure I stick to the core engineering principles. So I make sure the code is covered with tests. I make sure documentation is good, like things like that, right? So this is how I use AI. Now I am way more productive, even though I already started losing my dev skills when I was a manager, right? Or I was like a technical lead, but whatever. I'm thinking less when I'm vibe coding. Oh, I don't think I'm thinking less. So actually, I try to make sure I understand the code. That is sometimes, not always, right? So that sometimes I work on projects that I don't really care how they are implemented. As long as they work, it's fine, right? But for some things, like for example, this platform, I spent a lot of I think it's like 70% of the code for this platform is written by AI tools. But I want to make sure that I understand everything that's happening here. Because if something breaks, I want to be able to fix it, right? What if Cursor is down? What if, I don't know, Copilot is down? And I need to make a fix here in this code base. I want to be able to do this because, I don't know, maybe something is broken and I need to make a fix. And there are real users for this tool, right, who cannot submit homework. So then I want to be able to still do this. That's why when I see the output of AI coding agents, I want to make sure I understand it. I want to make sure that, because I will need to maintain this code. So that's why I spent time reading it. I spent time reviewing this code. Will the course give one the knowledge to build any AI agent? No. So for that, as I said, I have a course. This is my personal course, so this is not affiliated with Datadog Club, but there I teach people how to build agents. It's a paid course, but yeah, it's relatively expensive, so probably you will need to ask your employer if you want to take this course to help you cover the costs. So there you can learn these things, but not on this course. Yes, I plan to open a new cohort for that course in end of January probably. So right now this cohort is ongoing. So we will finish. I will finish all the materials, preparing all the materials soon, and then I will open the cohort, the new cohort. So I think it will be end of January, somewhere there. Okay, let's see. You're saying it's okay, then I'm wrong. Let me quickly. Yeah, actually it is 18th. It is not Monday. It should be Tuesday, because on Monday, on the 17th, I have this other course, right? So yeah. So then it's not Monday, it's Tuesday, which is, for me, it's confusing because we always start courses on Mondays, not on Tuesdays. That's why probably I made a mistake somewhere saying it's a Monday, but it's a Tuesday. Apologies for that. Do we need cloud compute? No. How is cost do you offer in this? So you're saying if this course is free, the course is free. So this everything, if you see a course in Datadog Club and it has Zoomcamp in the title, like everything we do in Datadog Club, it's free, right? You will probably need to pay for the tools, but the course is free. You don't need to pay for the course. We of course accept donations. I can send a link right now. So if you like what we do here at Datadog Club and you want to thank me personally, I can send now a link that you can use for donations. But yeah, otherwise everything is free. So you don't have to donate. You can just take the courses. The courses are free. But let me still add the link. Donate. Yes, we will have a certificate. The requirements are complete in the project. What exactly will be in the project? It's still to be announced. But to be honest, I haven't really formalized the requirements yet, so I will need to spend some time thinking about that, but I'll do that when we start the course. Right now I'm busy with the other course, this course on Maven. So once I finish the course, which is end of November, I'll have more time, so then I'll focus more on this AI Dev Tools. Will the course cover prompt engineering to reduce AI hallucinations during code generation? No, we will not cover that. Again, this is a different course. So here, okay, so this code, let's say it hallucinated some methods. You just see that it doesn't work, right? And then I say, okay, it doesn't work. Then you can find some documents and then copy paste these documents to this. So it's more like, I wouldn't call it prompt engineering. I would just call it interacting with agents, right? But when it comes to prompt engineering, I think it's other courses. But I guess partly, yeah, the answer is yes, we partly will cover it. Because, yeah, let's say it came up with a method that doesn't exist, then we ask it to write a test, and it sees the test fails, it tries to make the test pass, and then it eventually discovers that this method doesn't exist, and it fixes it to the right method, right? So this is more like, let's cover the code with tests, let's follow the best engineering practices, and then eventually we'll discover these problems. I'm asking that. I'm new. I'm just starting with data engineering. Registered for data engineering Zoomcamp. Should I join AI Dev Tools Bootcamp? How much beneficial would it be in my case? I mean, I cannot answer this for you. I think everyone who is writing code will benefit from using these AI assistants, because I feel much more productive. And as I was saying, I was already like feeling a bit rusty when it came to coding. I couldn't compete, let's say, with myself 10 years ago. Like 10 years ago, like I would write code nonstop, and I would really, like I was really satisfied with the quality of the code I was writing. So right now I cannot do this. Like for me, it's harder, but because of these tools, I feel much more effective. So I think everyone will benefit from this. So yeah, I suggest you take it. From Rack to Agents on Maven versus this Zoomcamp. So these are very different courses. So AI Bootcamp the main focus is on creating agent. This Zoomcamp is for learning AI Dev Tools. The only intersection that these two courses have is this module number 4. So in the course on Maven, I show how to build an AI coding agent, and here I also show how to build an AI coding agent. In the Maven course, it's more extensive. We use different libraries. We have a multi-agent setup. Here, the goal is to just give you intuition how these things work. So we'll not go too deep into that. So here is just the focus is more on using tools like Cursor and just give you a little bit of understanding how these tools work under the hood. But if you want to know more about this, then yeah, that's the other course. But yeah, apart from this module number 4, there is very little overlap. I registered for the last cohort. You need to register for the next cohort. So this is the only cohort we have. We didn't have any previous cohorts. So you probably meant a different course. You don't need to register again. If you're already in the Telegram and you follow the newsletter, you will see the announcements. And also, I think on our website, if you want to make sure you don't miss it, there is this course launch stream. You just go there, you register, and then you will get a notification from Luma that the course is starting. So you can do that. But registering is optional. So in general, for any of our courses, for all the courses we have, you don't need to specifically sign up. So what you can do is just on the day when the course starts, you can join our live stream and you can start taking the course from there. I noticed there were some already concluded cohorts on Telegram. Is it possible for me to start the MLOps training? Yes, as I said, all the courses we have, and you can take them as a part of a cohort, and you can take them at your own pace. When it comes to the MLOps course, I don't know if there will be future cohorts. If we find a sponsor, then we will have a future cohort. If we don't, then this course will remain in the self-paced mode. But it means that you can just go ahead, go to MLOps, Zoomcamp, and follow all these modules there at your own pace. At work, I have a lockdown work laptop. Is it necessary to have admin access to install software? So you will need to install Visual Studio Code. And then what you can do, you can install, you can use Codespaces. So there is a thing called GitHub Codespaces. And then you can do all the work there from these Codespaces. So there you can install whatever you want. All you need to do is just have an internet connection. Ideally, you also want to have Visual Studio Code, so then you can connect to Codespaces from your Visual Studio Code. But it's also possible to work from the browser. Like if you cannot install Visual Studio Code, but you already have Chrome or Edge or some other modern browser. With Codespaces, yeah, I think you can still, so here, GitHub Copilot will definitely work on Codespaces. And Codex I also tested. It will work in Codespaces. So I think it, should be fine. Some things will not work, but most of the things will work. Right? In what order I should consider AI tools like Copilot and so currently I use ChatGPT. So this is something we cover in module number 1. So in module number 1, we give an overview of all the tools and also kind of the history. So at the beginning, everything started with just people using ChatGPT and copying the code from ChatGPT to their development environment. But then eventually, these tools like Copilot started to appear. So I think you're already on the right track. So you can, play with ChatGPT, but then use Copilot too. I guess I answered the question. If I miss the cohort in the middle, like third one, so it doesn't matter if you miss a part of the cohort or not, as long as you can do a project. If you deliver a project and you pass the project, you do peer reviews of others, then you will be able to get a certificate. Is everything fine with my stream? So it's like I have a weird notification from Zoom preparing live stream, but I can see myself from YouTube. Yeah, please confirm in live chat that everything is fine. Will you make a Zoomcamp in the future for AI from RAG to agents? Well, this is a paid course, so it's unlikely. So I think I'll continue keeping it as a paid course. So I will not make it a Zoomcamp, so the content will not be free. But I do plan an update for LLM Zoomcamp, but it just will be different. So I will not go that deep into things like I do in the paid course. But still, I think I will make a few updates in this module, but it will in this course, but it will be like in summer, right? I hope we get instructions how to prepare before each session and maybe some guidance how to install tools. I don't think so. So you will still need to be able to install Visual Studio Code yourself. So I will show you the tools, but figuring out how to install, I think I should add this as a prerequisite. But this is just, to me, this is basic computer literacy. So being able to download a tool, install it, and start working. So I don't think it makes sense to cover. Also, everyone uses different operational systems, right? So I use Windows, you might be using macOS, and somebody else uses Ubuntu or somebody else uses Fedora, right? So I cannot prepare the instructions for everyone, right? That's why this is the part you will need to figure out yourself. And then what I will show you is how to use the tool, but installing the tool is something you need to take care of. Is this a brand new course? Yes, it is. If any of my projects get rejected in the first go, can I rectify, correct, and resubmit? Yeah, we'll have multiple attempts. So this is what we do in our courses. So for example, if we go to LLM Zoomcamp that just finished, you can see that we have 3 project attempts, right? So if you submit your project as attempt number 1 and you fail, then you can submit it as project attempt number 2. So I don't think we will have 3 projects for this one, but we will have 2 at least. So 2 for sure. So then if you fail for attempt number 1, then you just make a correction and submit it one more time. But if you put some effort, you'll pass. Like I promise you. Like I don't think you'll fail if you put genuine effort into creating your project. So usually the projects that fail, most of the time, the people I can see that people don't really put any effort in them. Besides these days, because we can use all these LLM tools, right? No, it will be hard to fail. I'm pretty sure. So I think that's all we have for today. I don't see any other questions. Let me quickly check live chat. Yeah, I don't see things in live chat. Okay, there are a few more questions. Let me answer them before I wrap up. Any discount on the course or Maven? Yeah, there are. So you'll get. So when I open the new cohort, I will have some early bird discounts, maybe for a week. I will share it on my social media, like on LinkedIn and Twitter about that. Also, if you join the waitlist here, yeah, here. So then you will also get an update about that when I launch the next cohort. Yeah, and then also there will be a scholarship. Another thing, you can take this course, AI Hero. And then this is a small email course. And then at the end, if you finish the course, you will also get a discount. It's not big discount, like 10%. But yeah, you will still, like you will need to finish this course. And if you finish, then you get a discount. So I can share it here too. Oops. Well, I did not plan to talk about these things because it feels like I'm promoting the other course that is not related to Data Talks Club. But since you are asking, okay, where is this thing? When does the course end? Any gap during Christmas? So we will see where it ends. Because this is the first time we run the course, we will see how difficult it is. I don't think it will be super difficult. And so first project will probably happen during Christmas, and the second project will happen after Christmas. So depending on your time, on the time you have available, you can accordingly. So during Christmas, yeah, you can take vacation and then you come back and then you work on project attempt number 2. Yeah, you're very welcome. For Data Engineering Zoomcamp, it's 12th of January, I think. So do we have date here? January, yeah, we don't have, but this should be 12th of January, yeah, Monday. So yeah, I'll update it. Okay, I think that's it. Thanks everyone for this engaging session. Thanks everyone for being active. Yeah, thanks for joining me today. And I'm really looking forward to this course. So I'm really excited about this course. I'm really happy to see this development of tools that is happening right now. All these new tools that are happening, like this Copilot, like Cursor, because they make me very, very effective. And I want to share this knowledge with you, my experience of using these tools. So I hope you will find this useful too. So I'm really looking forward to meeting with you all on November 18th, which is Tuesday, not Monday, at 5 p.m. Berlin time.